She was a princess, but she never acted like one, while her sister sat on a royal throne, being fanned by maids. Akuugo was at the firewood, stirring a pot, feeding the elders with her own hands. The entire village loved her. The god loved her. But one person hated her with everything she had, and that one person was her own sister. Now here is the part that will shock you. This sister did not just hate her in silence. She made a plan, a dark, calculated, evil plan. She framed Akuugo for a crime she never committed, a sacred crime, the kind that carried only one punishment in their land, death, and her own father, the king who loved her, almost let it happen. Stay with me, because what happens next will leave you speechless. Because when Akuugo finally cried, and her tears touched the ground, the entire sky broke open, and the truth could no longer hide. This is the story of Akuugo, the girl who never cried, the girl the rain obeyed, and the girl who chose love, when the world deserved her anger, long before the noise of the modern world, before concrete swallowed the earth, before people forgot how to look their neighbors in the eye. There was a village, a peaceful, beautiful, breathing village. Its name was Akwani. Life in Akwani was rich, not rich in gold, rich in something far more valuable: community. Every Eek market day, the entire village gathered in the square. Farmers brought their harvest, hunters brought their meat. Women danced, men watched, children laughed, and the air smelled of palm oil, roasted corn, and belonging. In the king's palace lived two daughters, both born from the same mother, both raised by the same father, but they were nothing alike. The first daughter was a daze, proud, polished, born to be seen. She sat tall. She spoke sharply. She believed with every bone in her body that the throne was hers. The second daughter was Akuugo, and she was something else entirely. She was beautiful, but that is not what people remembered first. What they remembered was how she made them feel. She went to the stream herself to fetch water. A princess. With her own hands, she cooked for elders who had no one. She fetched firewood for the old women the village had forgotten. She played with children in the dust. She fed the poor. She nursed the sick. Her maids once pleaded with her, "Princess, please allow us. This is not your duty." Akuugo smiled softly and replied, "If I cannot serve my people, then I do not deserve to lead them." That was Akuugo. But here is the secret. The script has not told you yet, the secret that even she did not know. The gods had placed something inside her, a gift, a rare gift, a gift so powerful it had never been seen in Akwani before. Whenever Akuugo cried and her tears touched the earth, the sky would open and rain would fall. She was a rainmaker, but no one knew, not the king, not the elders, not even Akuugo herself, because Akuugo never cried. She was always smiling, always gentle, always at peace. And so the gift slept inside her, waiting for the moment her heart would finally break. One Sunday morning, on the last Eek market day of the month, the king's cabinet gathered at the palace. These were not ordinary visitors. These were the elders, the ones who watched, the ones who observed, the ones who would one day decide which daughter would sit on the throne. Princess Adaze understood this perfectly. She dressed with precision. She sat with perfection. Two maids fanned her from behind. Her chin was raised. Her posture was flawless. She looked every inch like a queen. Across the courtyard, Akuugo was doing something completely different. She was at the firewood pot, steaming sweat on her brow, stirring, tasting, adjusting, not performing, just serving. When the food was ready, she carried the trays herself. She walked to each elder, bowed her head, and served them with 2 hands. The elders began to eat. Silence. Then expressions changed. One elder paused mid-bite. He looked at his plate. He looked up. "Princess, what have you done to this food?" Laughter rippled across the gathering. Then the oldest chief stood up. His voice was faint, but his words were heavy. "Princess Akuugo, today you have not just fed us, you have honored us. You have shown us love. You have shown us humility. You have shown us what it truly means to care for your people." He paused, let the silence sit, then said the words that would change everything. "I believe you will make a great ruler after your father." The elders nodded. Some clapped quietly. The king said nothing, but the pride in his eyes spoke louder than any words. Across the courtyard, Adaze heard every word. She saw every nod. Her smile stayed on her face, but her fingers tightened against the arm of her chair. Inside her, something broke. That night, Adaze could not sleep. She paced her room, back and forth, back and forth. Her thoughts were loud. Her anger was louder. "That girl wants to take everything from me." Her voice trembled. "She took my mother from me the day she was born." Her breathing grew heavier. "If she never came, my mother would still be alive." She stopped pacing, stared at the dark window. He looks at her the way he used to look at my mother. Her jaw tightened. "The elders, the village, even my own father." She let out a cold, bitter laugh. "They want to give her my throne." Her eyes darkened. "Never." The word came out slow, final like a door slamming shut. "That throne is mine." She pressed her fist against her chest. "And I will do whatever it takes to keep it." And just like that, a plan was born, not from pain, not from grief, from envy, the most dangerous seed a human heart can carry. Late that evening, when the village had gone, quiet Adaze moved. She walked calmly towards the sacred chamber, the most protected place in all of Akwani, the place that housed the golden staff, a sacred object passed down from kings before kings, a symbol of peace, of divine authority, of the gods themselves. 2 guards stood at the entrance. Adaze approached with a smile. She carried a tray of food. "You must be tired," she said softly. "Please eat." The guards accepted gratefully. They ate. Their voices slowed. Their eyes grew heavy. And one by one, they slept. Adaze stepped inside. The air felt thick, like the chamber itself was watching her. Her heart pounded, but she did not stop. There it was, the golden staff, glowing faintly in the darkness. "No one will take what is mine." She reached out and took it. Then she moved silently through the palace, slipped into Akuugo's chamber, placed the staff beneath the sleeping princess, and disappeared into the night. The trap was set. Morning came, and with it, a scream. "Abomination!" The chief priest stood inside the empty sacred chamber. His voice shook with fear. "The staff! The staff is gone!" Panic erupted. The king was summoned immediately. A search began. Every house, every compound, every corner of Akwani nothing, until Adaze stepped forward, calm, composed, eyes lowered just enough to appear reluctant. "I think you should search Akuugo's chamber." The palace fell. Silent. The king turned sharply. "What are you saying?" "I saw her last night," Adaze said quietly, heading towards the sacred chamber. Gasps, whispers, panic. The king's face tightened. A long silence. Then, "Search it." The guards entered Akuugo's room. Moments passed. Then one guard stepped out, holding the golden staff. The world stopped. Akuugo was dragged forward. "No," she said, her voice shaking. "No, this is not mine. I did not do this." But no one listened. "Abomination!" The elders cried, "She has defiled the land." The priest's voice rose above the chaos. "By our tradition, whoever commits this act must be beheaded." The crowd roared. Akuugo turned eyes, searching, desperate, until she found her father. "Father, please." Her voice broke completely. "You know me. I would never do this." King Ezedike looked at his daughter. His eyes filled with pain, with confusion, with doubt. And that look shattered her more than anything else ever could. "I cannot kill my daughter," the king finally said. His voice was barely above a whisper. He turned to the elders. "Spare her life. I beg you. Let her be imprisoned. Let her live in darkness. But I cannot kill my own child." The elders exchanged looks, then nodded. Akuugo was taken. Away, dragged from the palace she called home. Still crying, still pleading. "I am innocent," but no one spoke for her. The cell door closed, and darkness swallowed her. Whole days passed, then weeks, and something terrible began to happen. In Akuugo first, the rain stopped. Then the rivers began to shrink. Fish floated lifeless on the surface. Crops dried under a merciless sun. Hunters returned, empty-handed. Animals vanished from the forest. Goats died, chickens died, and children cried from hunger. Then one morning, the river dried up completely. The entire village stood at its empty banks, staring. The king stood in his courtyard. Eyes to the sky. "This is not ordinary," he said. The seer was summoned. He performed his rituals. The air grew heavy. Then he opened his eyes. "The gods are angry." Those 4 words fell on the village like a stone. Months passed. Still, no rain, still, no relief, still, no answer. Until one elder quiet slow spoke. The question everyone was too afraid to ask. "Your Majesty, are we certain that we judge correctly?" Silence. "We all know Akuugo. That girl. She is not capable of such evil." More silence. "Could we have punished an innocent child?" The king said nothing. But, inside him, something shifted. After long deliberation, the decision was made. Bring her back. The prison door opened slowly. Akuugo stepped out, weak, fragile. Her body is thin. Her skin is dull. Her glow gone. She no longer looked like the princess that people once admired. But her eyes. Her eyes were still the same, gentle, pure, unbroken. She was not angry, not even after everything. She was only confused. As she walked forward, faces stared back at her. The same faces that had cheered against her. The same people who had stayed silent, now standing before her, in shame. An elder stepped forward, his voice heavy. "This land is dying. My child, since the day you were taken from us, nothing has been the same. Our crops have failed." A woman cried. "Our children are hungry." A man said, "The river is gone. Even the animals have disappeared." Akuugo's eyes moved slowly across the crowd. She saw hunger in their faces. She saw fear. She saw pain. Then her father stepped forward, King Ezedike crown on his head, shame in his eyes. He lowered himself, a king kneeling before his daughter. "My child, I have wronged you." His voice cracked. "Forgive me." Gasps from the crowd. The elders bowed their heads. One by one, the villagers followed. "We are sorry. We judged you wrongly. Forgive us." Akuugo stood still. She looked at her father on the ground. She looked at the hungry children. She looked at the broken village. And something inside her broke, not from anger, not from pain, from love, from seeing her people suffer. A tear rolled down her cheek, then another. She did not stop them. She could not. Her tears fell and touched the ground. The wind shifted, gently at first, then stronger. The sky darkened. Clouds gathered from nowhere. Villagers looked up. What is happening? Thunder rumbled in the distance. More tears fell from Akuugo's eyes. Then the heavens opened. Rain poured down, heavy, powerful, relentless. The village erupted. Rain! It's raining! Women fell to their knees. Men shouted with relief. Children stretched their arms to the sky, laughing, crying, dancing. Life had returned. But in the middle of the celebration, the rain changed. Thunder cracked violently. Across the sky, a bolt of lightning split the air. A scream. The crowd turned. Adaze had fallen to the ground, her body trembling, her face twisted, with something that looked like force. Like something inside her was tearing its way out. I can't, she gasped. I can't. Then the words came, loud, uncontrollable. I did it. The crowd went dead silent. I stole the staff. She sobbed violently. I framed her. I hid it in her room. Gasps ripped through the crowd. I was jealous. Tears poured down her face. I couldn't bear the love she received. I wanted her gone. She collapsed forward. I am sorry. I am sorry. No one moved. No one spoke. Every eye turned slowly to Akuugo. Akuugo stood in the rain, tears still falling, but not for herself, for her sister. She walked slowly across the mud towards Adaze, who lay trembling on the ground. Adaze looked up, eyes red face, shattered with guilt. I don't deserve forgiveness, she whispered. Akuugo looked at her for a long moment. I know, she said softly. The crowd held its breath. Then Akuugo knelt down and pulled her sister into her arms. But I will give it to you anyway, my sister. Adaze broke down completely, sobbing, into her shoulder. The rain softened, the thunder faded, and something peaceful settled over the land of Akuugo. One elder raised his voice above the crowd. It was trembling, but it was certain. This is no ordinary woman. He looked at Akuugo, at the sky, at the rivers beginning to flow again. She is the chosen one. From that day, Akuugo flourished again. Rivers flowed, crops grew, animals returned. Life came back, fully. Adaze lived on, humbled, not rejected, but forever changed. And Akuugo remained, exactly who she had always been, kind, gentle, selfless. But now she was more than a princess. She was a queen chosen, not just by tradition, but by the heavens themselves. And her story became a reminder, passed down through generations, that envy leads only to destruction, but love always wins in the end.